Are you joining me for this podcast?
Coming, here I come.
Come on.
Here I am.
Come on down.
Here I come. Here I come. Excuse me.
Let's do this.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay,
excuse me,
wait.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
What is this?
What did you? Did you?
Why are you wearing...
What? Did you? What? Hit? How did you? Get down. Same shirt? What?
Yeah.
You me?
People just listening. Matt just walked in wearing the same sweatshirt as me.
You mean
unacceptable.
I was dressed first?
No, I was
I'm
dressed
gonna get my leg
first.
in here. I was dressed first.
Absolutely dressed first. We are not going to wear the same sweatshirt.
Are you sure? Why not? Look how cute
I
you
wore
are.
I wore
Excuse
this
me.
on purpose because my
Okay.
shirt says Chincoteague Island,
Mhm,
which is off
mhm.
the coast of Virginia.
Sure.
And I wore it because we're interviewing Natalie Keller Reinert today.
Yeah.
And she writes books about horse girls.
Horse books.
And so Chincoteague Island is a
I wrote it. Hey, let me tell you why
pony island.
I wore this sweatshirt because they have wild ponies on this island,
Yes.
and they round them up with these saltwater cowboys, is what they call them. And there was a book called Misty of Chincoteague, and I've been here a couple times. I don't know why you would wear this shirt.
Yeah, we've gone a few times. I don't know why you're wearing the shirt, but
Look at us match.
yeah, apparently a ship like sank off the coast and the ponies swam to shore, and they are still wild ponies who inhabit the island. Yeah, and they're protected, and so I wore this to interview Natalie. You will definitely not wear that while we interview Natalie. You're gonna have to find something else to wear.
It's not very nice.
But yeah.
Can I wear it after we interview her and do the after part?
I would prefer not, but definitely not during the interview. You cannot wear the same thing. Like, she'll be like, what did I sign up for?
You know who I'm feeling persecuted like? Oh, St. Patty.
Oh.
Tomorrow is St. Patty's Day. Oh, St. Patrick's Day. It's
not tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, is it really? That's
the 17th.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
So I was going to ask you a little bit about St. Patrick's Day and see if you knew anything about it.
Well, my father's side of the family is O'Neill. That's true. From Ireland and Wales, so we could talk about how much I don't know about my history. True. Okay.
So let's start with this. Who was St. Patrick? Who was he? Who was he?
Do I get multiple choice?
Was he a hot dog vendor?
Okay, maybe. Was
he the living embodiment of Dr. Frankenstein? Or was he a patron saint who converted the Irish people to Christianity around 430 AD?
Sounds like a pretty specific answer.
Oh.
I think I'm going to go with that one.
Oh, you know what? Check mark. You get one St. Patty point. I'm giving out St. Patty's point.
One chamois.
The only other question on the quiz, what color is usually associated with St. Patrick's Day?
I would say green.
Oh, blimey!
How do I make you stop doing this act?
Oh, I don't know.
More importantly.
Maybe we should just go to the music.
I think so. Welcome to our next chapter.
Welcome.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Podcast. Nope.
Yeah.
We're done with that segment.
Okay.
I'm Andrea. This is my current husband, Matt. And we are high school sweethearts who have been together for 25 years, almost 26, married for almost 21. We have almost grown boys who, they're just amazing. And we found ourselves spending time reading romance novels together. And decided to try writing one and made this podcast to document that process. And along the way, we've been playing games and talking about books and authors we love. And now we get to talk to authors we love.
We've been so lucky to talk to amazing authors and get so much great detail. We actually had a friend who made a suggestion of us writing a book that has to do with the knowledge we gained talking to the authors.
Oh, that's a fun
which I thought was really smart, actually.
I do like that idea.
I may have to do that. You know, we've been doing this podcast, primarily audio-based format. And there are things called audiobooks out there, Andrea. You may not be familiar with this.
I'm familiar. We do love an audiobook too. I usually, you listened to the whole Dungeon Crawler Carl on audiobook, and then what? Project
Hail Mary, The Martian.
I listen to a ton while I'm driving around. I really love listening to biographies in the car because a lot of times they're narrated by the people who wrote them. And so those are fun. I guess autobiographies. But yeah.
Autobiographies?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And so I do. I love listening to books while I drive around.
I realized, though, that even though we have this podcast, we haven't auditioned to be audio narrators yet,
Oh, is that something we need to do?
That's something we have to do. Like, how have we not done that yet?
So my imposter syndrome wasn't enough. Now I have to audition.
Now you have to audition like we're going to be audiobook narrators.
Oh, okay.
And luckily for you, let me grab my papers. I may have already prepared us some segments, some excerpts to read.
I'm terrified.
You know what I mean?
You prepared these?
So there's 3 for each of us. They're only about 10 seconds each. They're not that long. But I'll even go first. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay. Am I going to get fired?
I can't tell you right now. So here we go. Maybe I should put some music under these. All right, here we go. You ready?
This is you auditioning.
This is me auditioning
to be an audiobook narrator. Okay.
Matt V. Male. 28 years old. Reading for the part of audio narrator. Okay. Gary adjusted his spectacles and looked at the kitchen clock. It was 4:15 p.m. If he started the pasta water now, it would be boiling exactly when the evening news began. He reached for the colander, his heart rate remaining a steady 64 beats per minute. Salt, he whispered into the empty room. Consistency is the soul of a good linguine. So see, there you go. I think that's pretty good. So I got your first blurb here. I've cut them into pieces so you can just have them one at a time. And, feel free to start whenever you feel like starting your audio narration.
I feel like I get veto power. I'm very scared here. Why are mine in pieces?
That's not important.
And yours is about pasta water and the consistency of linguine.
Of course. I mean, they're just reading it.
Okay, let's see what I'm reading. And okay. Should I tell the title?
If you want to.
So I'm Andrea, auditioning for the part of audiobook narrator. And I'm reading The Kitchen Encounter. Andriana watched her husband, Matrick, from the kitchen island. He wasn't just a man. He was a domestic deity in a slightly wrinkled sweater. As he reached for the top shelf, the fabric of his khaki strained against his powerful, well-defined thighs. She felt a flush creep up her neck. "Is it hot in here?" she whispered to her husband. "Or is it just the way you manage the household with such raw, masculine intensity?"
Okay. Wow, that's pretty good.
That's pasta water, right?
That's pretty good. What were the names again?
Andriana and Matrick.
That's weird.
Unusual names I haven't heard before.
Weird. Well, let me give you my blurb, my second blurb.
Okay.
Here we go. Take 2. Here we go. The golden retriever wagged its tail, and Arthur couldn't help but chuckle softly. He leaned down, not too far, minding his lower back, and he gave the dog a firm, respectful pat on the flank. "You're a good boy, Barnaby," Arthur said. And then he went to the hallway to ensure the thermostat was still set to a crisp, economical 68 degrees. All was right in the world.
Wow.
See? I think, here you go. You take this one. Here's a new one for you.
Well, let me guess what this one's going to be.
Probably about the same. Patting flanks of dogs.
Oh, I'm going to tell you the title of this one that I just received. And I want you to tell me, have you ever described chores in the household as smoldering?
Ooh.
The smoldering chores?
Maybe the way Matrick does it.
Is the excerpt that I'll be reading. It is still Matrick.
Oh, interesting.
Matrick turned toward his wife, his eyes smoldering like a charcoal grill on the 4th of July. Andriana's husband ran a hand through his hair, that salt and pepper mane that drove her wild, and let out a low, rugged chuckle. Would you like to give me a low, rugged chuckle? He stepped closer, the scent of sandalwood and laundry detergent intoxicating her senses. "I finished the dishes, Andriana," her husband growled, his voice like gravel and velvet. Gravel and velvet, yeah.
That's me.
And now...
Matrick.
Oh, let me start this part over. "I've finished the dishes, Andriana," her husband growled, his voice like gravel and velvet. "And now, I'm going to finish you." She gasped, You know I can't say that word ever.
It's okay.
Every time we're reading, I mess up that word. She gasped, her heart hammering against her ribs like a bird in a cage.
Bird in a cage. Wow, you're pretty good at this.
Uh-huh.
Your
So is
audition
Matrick.
Your audition is going pretty good.
Yeah, I might get the job, huh?
Interesting. Well, let me read you my last one then.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The sun began to set over the cul-de-sac, casting a warm glow on the freshly mowed fescue. Thomas stood on the porch, nursing a lukewarm mug of decaffeinated chamomile tea. He noticed a slight squeak in the screen door hinge and made a mental note to apply a drop of mineral oil tomorrow morning. He felt a profound sense of satisfaction, knowing his taxes were filed 3 weeks early. He exhaled, the scent of his dryer sheets lingering in the air like a soft cotton hug.
Thrilling.
See? You know?
Thrilling. I can't wait to turn the page.
It's exciting, right? Here's number 3 here for you. The third one. The third and last one. You know, I think this is really the make or break. If you think about it, like in an audition kind of setting, this is the make or break.
Thinking of the rules of 3, I think I'm most fearful of reading.
What do you mean?
You've just placed in front of me.
I don't understand.
The moonlight hit her husband's chiseled jawline. The jawline of a man who knows exactly how to fix a Wi-Fi router without calling tech support. Andriana threw herself into Matrix's arms, feeling the raw power of a husband who always remembers to put the recycling out on Tuesday. "Oh, Matrix," she moaned, "your wit is as sharp as your intellect, and your attributes are legendary. Take me now, right here on the ergonomic office chair, and show me why you were voted best calves in a cargo short at the 2019 neighborhood block party." She knew then she didn't just want her husband, she needed him.
You know what? I would give you this job.
Would you?
Yeah, you know what?
Oh.
You're hired.
And what qualities do I bring that you're so
Your
eager?
attributes? You've got some pretty good attributes.
Yeah, I
Just
like
saying.
my attributes. Interesting.
Okay, well,
Well, thank you for the opportunity to audition for my own job.
I know we may have to do that one
Always
again.
feels good.
That was fun. We may have to keep this series going.
Yeah,
It was fun.
it's just foreplay.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. Okay. Whew. Okay. All right. Let's
Now
talk to
that
Natalie.
you're all, I know.
You
But
got me
you
flustered.
definitely have to change your clothes, and we're not gonna meet Natalie in the same outfit.
We can't be matchy-matchy?
No, but we are
Look at us.
so excited
Mm-hmm.
in our matching garb.
And I have to change.
You have to change, but we are so excited to welcome Natalie Keller Reinert to the show.
Today's guest is multi-award-winning author Natalie Keller Reinert, which means we're talking horses, feelings, and big dreams with muddy boots. She's built the eventing series and Briar Hill Farm as an indie breakout, and then signed a major deal with Flatiron Books. And those stories are now in TV development with Amazon, with Natalie attached as an executive producer. Her writing has been described as GoPro style. You don't just read the ride, you feel it. And her new standalone novel, The Jump, which is releasing March 24th, it's set in Florida horse country and follows a determined young rider who gambles her future on a famous trainer, only to discover that success may demand more than she's ready to give. Welcome to the show, Natalie.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so
Welcome.
excited.
Of course.
So glad you're here.
I do have the first question, and it might be the most important question of the entire interview. I would like you to tell us about Ben, just a little bit.
We've heard about Ben.
We've heard about Ben.
Your horse.
I may be described as having an unhealthy attachment to my dog. So
Stella is the third
it's
host
always
of the show. Yeah.
the animals in our lives are always the most important thing.
Yeah.
So we have to start there.
Ben is
What's
my
about
extremely silly pony. He was, how do I begin the Ben story? When I had been not writing for a while, and I had a little bit of money from my Patreon, and I decided I had just enough to maybe what they call partially lease a horse, which means you give somebody a little bit of money and they use it towards the horse's upkeep, and in exchange you get to ride a couple of days a week. And since I have always been, I've been riding since I was a little girl, and I don't really need like instruction or oversight in order to just hop on a horse and goof around. I didn't feel like I had to go out for riding lessons. So somebody randomly messaged me back on Facebook and said, "So I have this rescue horse. He just came in. I don't know. He's like 5. He hasn't really been ridden. Do you want to come and try him?" And she showed me a picture of him. And I was like, "Oh, that is an ugly horse. Wow.
I love
But it was, she was offering me a ride. So I went up and got
Yeah.
on him. And I was like, this is like riding a 2x4 on legs. This is the most uncomfortable, untalented. And she said, would you like to lease him? I said, yeah, I'll take him on. And he turned out to be just an incredibly talented and what we call spicy in the horse world, which means that he's not always easy. He has a lot of quick triggers. And so he never really turned into like a children's horse. And for his size, he really would be best as a children's horse. And so eventually, years down the road, I moved out of the city and out to the country. And Ben came with me just as my forever bud. And I've had him almost 10 years. Yeah, I love him
amazing.
so much. I love him so much. I don't trust him at all because he's insane. But wow, I love him.
I think that's important. Yeah,
That's
I think
important.
that's important. I saw that sometimes you like to go writing when you're working out plot points and things like that. And is he a good partner for that to help you get out of your head a little bit and just into the characters?
Yeah, absolutely. I go out and I'll just go for a long walk on a long rein, and he kind of picks his path. And I just think, and sometimes I pull out my phone and make notes. I'm not great at dictation. Sometimes I just talk out whole scenes. And then I used to do that when I was a kid on my bicycle. And so I kind of brought that back. Because like when I was a little kid, I would write like Black Stallion fan fiction, but it was in my head because the internet didn't really exist yet.
Yeah.
And I would get on my bike and I would like work out all of these stories. And the other kids in the neighborhood were going, why does that girl ride her bike by talking to herself all the time? But I was working out my Black Stallion fan fiction.
That's amazing.
So I kind of brought
love that
back.
process. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, and thinking of you being a young girl and starting to ride, things like that, and now being an author in this horse book genre, what like films or books really inspired you, when you were younger? I feel like I wore out my copy of Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. Did you ever see that movie about the jumping horses? And
I did.
yeah, I loved that.
We watched it recently.
Yeah, we did. He'd never seen
Yeah,
it.
I think there's a new documentary maybe, or a new book about
we gotta
Sonora
find
Carver,
that.
actually.
Oh,
I was such a Black Stallion fan. Like there was just no replacement on earth for me. So, there's 25 books in that series, and I'll still pull them out and read them every now and then. You can read one in an afternoon now, but I remember like in 4th grade, I had a teacher who did, sort of a reading challenge. Like you read so many books and she'd buy you a book. And so she bought me one of the Black Stallion books as my prize. And yeah, they were really career like altering for me, I guess, or character creating for me.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Somebody who do anything for the horse.
Pull them. Yeah, I love that you still pull them back out and connect with that younger version of yourself of just that love and that passion. I've seen you talk about like just writing what you love, not writing to what maybe the market is demanding or whatever, but like you've built a career on just writing what you're passionate about. And just
we've heard other authors say the same thing about like if you're writing about your passion, that's going to come through, whether it's to market or not. And I love this. I would love to hear about like, why this community? I know you have a deep history in it and all that sort of thing versus like a regular contemporary romance or fiction or anything like that. What I know you have the history, but what really drew you into that world?
Well, if you're talking about the equestrian world, that was just who I
the
was
equestrian world.
born to be.
Yes, love it. Yes,
there was never, I can still remember just like the mountains of drawings of horses I did and the elaborate scenarios I made for myself in which I would be able to take riding lessons or get on a horse or touch a horse. Like there were, I didn't grow up in a horsey family. I didn't grow up around horses at all. I was just a suburban girl. And so I got really fortunate that my parents were able to and willing to invest in riding lessons and push the passion, to its fruition. But it took a while before they were like, oh, this is not a phase. This is not going away.
Yeah.
This is life. Yes.
This is not a phase. This is
And
where
once
I
it
live.
wasn't a phase, it was like, well, this isn't like a career. This isn't a thing you're going to do. And I was like, of course it is.
Yeah.
Because what else? I literally
Yeah.
only ever wanted to write books and ride horses. Those are the two
Love it.
things.
How many people get to say like the thing that they said in their youth, like of what they wanted to
What
be
they
when
wanted
they
to
grew
do.
up? Like that's what you're doing. That's
Love
so
it.
beautiful and inspirational. And I'd say too, you're an author who's just been at the forefront of advocating and representing, equestrian literature and horse books. And I'm just curious, like, what do you feel a weight of that? I've seen you post and write about just the importance of presenting unity as authors of this genre. And wanting to just make sure that you're putting the best of the best out into the world as that this grows, and you're advocating for shelf space and sections dedicated to this. And so I'm just curious, like, what weight do you feel as one of the authors that's leading the game here?
I think I only really feel like a weight per se when I'm at an event, like I'm at an equestrian expo or something, and the number of people who come up to me and recognize me as such, like as a person who has championed this genre and sort of brought it into existence.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, I've inspired a lot of people, and I don't want to lead anybody down the wrong path. And, self-publishing for fame and fortune is generally not a good idea. So I try to be really level with everybody about not just the possibilities, but the length of time it can take to create something that is really what you want to put forth as like your first book, or your how you want to present your craft, or who you're paying to help you along the way. Like, these are very difficult subjects.
Yes.
They're difficult subjects to bring up with people. They're difficult to advise people on. Everybody's on their own really unique journey when it comes to writing. And so nothing that I say is really prescriptive. It's just sort of, here's what is, here's what I have experienced.
From my experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do feel like so many people, whether it's as, trying to become an author like us, is like, we are looking for mentorship and advice, and people are craving that. And I think it felt unique to me to see the way that you advocate for other authors to reach out for help, whether it's cover art or edits or things like that. Just really
just building that community.
Yeah, wanting to build that
Creating a
community and represent this genre in the best way of putting that best foot forward together. I just think that's so powerful. And to me, that's the first time when we've talked about some of these sub-genres and things like that. It's one of the first times that I've seen this call for unity and like, let's put the best stuff out there. And so that was inspirational to me, and the possibility of authors working together just to represent the genre in such a positive way. So that was incredible.
Well, thank you. I guess I didn't really think about it too hard. It's people come to me with really great books, and I have the ability, like when we self-publish one of these books that are like horse books for grown-ups, we are working outside of any recognized genre, because even on Amazon, which has 6 million subgenres, their equestrian fiction stops at young adult. And so there seems to be this conception that you will reach 18 and you will never touch another horse, or you will not want to read about people who ride horses. And there is a $1 billion industry in the United States that says otherwise. We're called adult amateurs, and we're insane. And so, I was basically writing for either adult amateurs or people who were hoping to get back into horses someday. So I'm writing for people who have a certain, amount of literary taste, and they're going to look for something specific. And so I was saying, how can I make a cover that illustrates exactly what's inside this book? That, I use the typography to indicate like the genre, if it's romance or it's women's fiction or whatever. But I use like a nice photograph of a horse to say, hey, we've got some good stuff in here for you. And so I try to help people sort of follow that path that I've taken, because it's worked for me, and that it gives us sort of a unified look where you can say, oh, this is a book like Natalie's. My friend Linda Shantz might have a book that looks a lot like mine. I've done covers for like Kim Ablin Whitney is another one who she's a former, or she is a judge. She's not a former judge. She's a horse show judge. She writes these incredible books. So I've done covers for her just to make sure that we all have the best shot that we can at reaching this really great readership. That doesn't have.
I think that's
a box.
brilliant. I mean, we've seen the same revolution on the just contemporary romance side, where everything went from the Fabio guys to the nice, beautiful covers, and you start to realize what that genre feels like. I was going to say another way that you're really pushing forward and spreading the voice is through your podcast. I know your podcast, Adulting with Horses. I would love to hear a little bit about how that came to life and how you guys do that.
Well, anybody who's like works in equestrian publication or does any of the, like we do Equine Affair and some of these big equestrian expos in the Northeast, they know Heather Wallace because she's very hard to not be introduced to. She has an incredibly outgoing personality, and I'm very lucky that Heather and I clicked instantly. We were at a book signing together at Equine Affair, and we had to be separated.
That's the best.
That's how you know it's right.
Yes. Our bookseller was like, you can't stand next to each other anymore. So we literally were driving somewhere, like to dinner afterwards. And she said, so Glenn Hebert, who runs Horse Radio Network, wants me to do a podcast. And I said, I want to do a podcast and I want to do it with you. And that weekend we came up with what would become Adulting with Horses and presented the idea to Horse Radio Network. And they were like, yes. And so we are basically Equestrian Podcasting's late night show. We
I love it. I love the description.
We're that like 7 to 11 slot. We talk a lot of nonsense. We are 100% unscripted. We're both amateurs in the saddle who used to ride really. I used to be a professional. Heather used to show pretty extensively. She's an equestrian body worker now, and I am whatever I am. But we both had long fallow periods where we weren't really involved with horses. And so it's really great. A lot of our listeners are either in that position or they've come back into horses and they're trying to make it work with their like sort of 9 to 5 regular life, which is impossible. So we always have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And I feel like with us heading into the Chinese New Year, the Year of the Horse, you've got these TV shows in production. I mean, it's, and we were even talking about as people kind of on the outside looking in, as not part of this community. Part of our entry was with the Olympics a few years ago with Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg doing commentary and things, just bringing it to the forefront of media and things like that. I was just curious, like, you talk a little bit about in writing the insider versus outsider, like how does an outsider become an insider? Where would you, push someone who maybe hasn't picked up a horse book before? How would you help them get into the community?
If somebody hasn't picked up a horse book before, any one of our books is gonna just welcome you right in. Like, we're all dealing with regular real world problems. We just also have a lot of stalls to muck out.
Right.
So, especially, cowboy romance is a very big thing. And you'll find a big overlap with cowboy romance. Like, I personally, I ride English and I dwell in the English equestrian world. So, like, I have a romance series called Ocala Horse Girls. They're, exactly like a cowboy romance in that you have a woman who is trying to find her place in the world and hopefully get a relationship that doesn't suck out of it as well, right?
Right.
Well, mine are doing that too. The guys aren't wearing cowboy boots. They're wearing, dress boots. So,
Nice.
So it's really easy to just read the back of the book and go, okay, this is a human story set amongst the horse world. Not a leap.
Love it.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of one of these girls in the world, will you tell us a little bit about The Jump?
Yes. So The Jump that's my novel coming out in March. It is a young woman who defies her family's expectations, joins a championship training team so she can pursue her equestrian dreams. And life on the elite show circuit is not what she expected, especially when she begins to suspect that her wonderful top of the line trainer might not be the respected horseman she has always believed him to be. So this is a book that deals with friendship and love and temptation, not just between people, but between, people and their sport, people and their animals, these things that like eat your whole life whole.
Absolutely.
And it's really, it's really important to me from a perspective of how the sport of eventing is representing equestrian sport in general, because it's a sport that's closest to my heart. It's one I know the most about. It's one I've worked in the most. So it's a little bit of my whipping boy in this one, but all of our sports have, we're all dealing with our social license questions and changes in the science and the philosophy of how we deal with animals in sport. And so I did want to dig into that a little bit with this book. Yeah.
Is that where this book started? Is with the idea of like the current, like you said, the current situation and people, changing views and how we're treating animals and things like that. Is that where the story
Discussion,
started for you, or did it
training,
start with
yeah.
the character?
It is. And, it almost, it's always been something that I've thought about. Like,
Of course.
um, there are extremes, right? So social license is kind of a new conversation, but from the very beginning of televised horse sports, there's been people on one side saying you shouldn't use animals in sport, and there's been others that say everything is perfect and we don't need to change. And it's interesting to look at extremes and figure out how we get to the middle and how you're gonna move forward.
Wow.
With adulting with horses in particular, whenever Heather and I were having these off the cuff conversations about like who we were when we were 16 versus who we are
Sure.
at 40 something. One thing that really came out of those conversations for me was like, wow, I loved my horse more than anything when I was 16 years old. I still have dreams about this particular horse.
Yeah.
And I definitely have my moments where I treated him like he was a sentient motorcycle. Like I made requests and demands of that horse that I would never do now. And so I started digging into this mentally and going, I want to write a book about this. And I want to look at the line between childhood and adulthood, at who doesn't cross that line necessarily. And who goes down the wrong path and what drove them to do it. Because I'm also very interested in the villain story in general.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody's gray. How dark gray can we go and
Yeah.
figure out why?
That's exactly what we were talking about. The
Yeah.
book kind of like blurring some of these lines, because it's never black and white, right?
Never.
I mean, it's always in the middle, and you have to figure that out. And I was
The
going to,
complexity of the characters and things.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you see a headline and it's somebody that you respected so much as a child. Maybe you had their picture on their wall and there's video of them and there's controversy and half of the Facebook comments are defending this person and the other half are saying, I knew about this for years. Where do you go from there?
Well, then wait,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What's right? What's wrong? Why didn't I know?
Yeah.
Who does the Whisper Network save and who gets left out in the cold? There's so many levels to it. And I just wanted to get in there.
I love it.
And I'm curious about that. So Brooke, your heroine in the story, she's about to be a high school graduate, or she's fresh out of high school.
She's in college.
She's already in college. Okay. I knew she
college.
decided to kind of forgo the college plan to go train with Eddie O'Neill, the famed trainer. What was it like then, like you said, reflecting as where you were at 16, and where you are now, and writing someone who's near that age and going through that journey herself? Like, did you see parts of yourself in writing Brooke, or
Absolutely.
what was that journey like of just writing someone at that age and that point in their career?
It can be difficult because you want to show the best of somebody and you also need to write somebody who is making mistakes. And
the
one thing that
authenticity.
and the plot. And so I always start with vibes and then the plot finds me and I go, oh no, I don't want to put my my character through this. And that actually is probably my biggest challenge. And my editor at my agency and I really have started drilling into this because we've seen that in subsequent drafts of things. Is like I don't want to put the characters through the mill that I know they have to go through because I went through it myself.
Yeah.
Would
We
wish
so
that
badly
everyone-
want to protect
The empathy
them.
piece of it.
Yeah, I feel that as a mom and as an educator. I want to protect them. I'm like, let me
These are your babies.
just take my learnings. Don't have to go through all the hard stuff that got you to that realization. Let me just impart this wisdom to you. But unfortunately, that's just not the way it works.
It's exactly. I spoiled my kid and now I'm trying to spoil my characters.
I
feel that.
empathize fully. Yes, for sure. And two, I've seen you talk a lot about writing females in this industry, and I was curious about your perspective in this. And again, just kind of as outsiders looking in, is it a man's world? I mean, just what is your drive behind really showcasing females working in this industry in your books?
It's funny. This is a conversation that we have a lot where, specifically in the English equestrian world, it is a female's world, right up until the absolute pinnacle tip top riders. And then all of a sudden it's extremely male. There's a lot of wondering, why is it like that?
Magic,
What exactly, what happens between like, you know, one level and then the absolute top level that it's suddenly the women aren't represented as like even remotely at the ratio that they should be. It's interesting.
Right.
It's questionable. And yeah,
Very
we have a lot of
interesting.
conversations about that. Yesterday, I was standing in an arena having that conversation with somebody like, why are the top
How is
riders
this
men?
happening?
What's going on here? And you know, there are some aspects to it that are you know, the same old. Like it's harder for a woman to start a family,
Right.
and then continue riding at that level,
To do
or at
both,
least not to
right.
take a 20-year break before they get back to
Exactly.
that level. Because if
Yep.
you are 20 something or even 30 and you've got a horse that you've built up over 10 or 15 years to get to their pinnacle, then you retire that horse and you have 2 children. Then at a certain point you have to start all over again with a new horse, and that's another 10 years. You know, so it's a long game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a
really
lot can
needing
go wrong.
probably a partner that is really going to share in responsibilities if, you know, she's going to continue to pursue that passion. And I was interested too, kind of, you're talking about this discrepancy in ratios and things like that. I think you also do an incredible job of representing like class and access, and you know, talking about yourself as a young girl. Like, thankfully your parents invested in this, and so in the story with Brooke, and then there's Lennox, right, and she's the other student worker,
right.
And she has the influencer that
Mm-hmm.
she does come from that background of access and money and funding. And so what was the importance there of trying to, you know, portray that in the book? Yeah.
I think Lennox represents that horses equalize us in the saddle and in the barn. There is incredible income inequity in equestrian sports. I personally, I was a working student almost from day one. So my parents helped me with a riding lesson a week, which was incredible. And my parents helped me by buying me a horse, which was amazing.
Wow.
And then my horse was used for riding lessons to defer the cost of his board. And then I helped around the barn to knock off the, you know, riding lessons for me.
Yeah.
And it was I started out at a very posh barn, and I felt, even at 10, 11 years old, I felt that immediately. We're using Natalie's horse in a lesson, so Natalie can't ride, you know, those kind of things. You know, and so to feel to feel like, oh, my friends have more money than me at 10 is like really awkward feeling.
Yeah.
Really different.
But as the years go by, your riding skill level, your relationship with your trainer when you're a working student and you are with them 99% of the time, and other people are paying for an hour of their time a week, these things start to equal out, and sometimes the lines really change. So either way, when you're in the saddle, you know, the horses equalize everything. And for Lennox and Brooke in particular, I wanted their friendship to be really front and center. And, you know, I'm a huge friendship novel fan. Like, my favorite book is Circle of Friends by Maeve Binchy, which, you know, is this incredible, complicated friend group. They're all from different economic backgrounds in a time and place where, you know, people didn't necessarily mingle outside of their income brackets.
Right.
And, you know, and the way that everything is brought together is just really brilliant. So I always am looking at how can I show more of these female relationships and spotlight how we come together when we have nothing in common except for horses.
Right. I know female friendships make the world go round. We talk a lot about that.
They do.
And we've talked about how to incorporate it into our novel as well. And but I'm curious too, what is the romance aspect in the book? What is the importance of the romance of the book?
There, you know, this is a book that, like I've said, it has friendship and it has love and it has temptation. It has a lot of obsession. So it has all these like essential romance pieces. But the most important romance in this book is between Brooke and her own passion. Who is she going to be? Where is she going to take this? If she's going to be a horsewoman and devote herself to the care and training of sensitive and incredibly emotionally intelligent animals, what kind of horsewoman is she going to be? Because that's going to dictate the people that she befriends, the people she falls in love with, the future that she builds. Her whole future really hinges on how she winds up viewing a love of horses and a love of sport. And I do think that's a romantic concept. What does the
100%.
romantic object in a story bring to the main character that they are lacking in themselves, right? And I always find that a challenge when I am writing a romance, like a person-person romance. Like, I love it when two people fall in love, but then I have to say, what is she lacking?
Yes.
What is he bringing to the
Right,
table,
right.
and vice versa? And I was, oh, geez, now we're good.
No,
But
I'm 100% with you. Like, the true romance is falling in love with yourself.
Yeah.
And
Finding who you're
finding
meant
And
who
I think,
you are. And
that's in every romance novel, right?
Yes.
Like, that is
100%.
such an essential piece. It's often in that retreat from love beat, right?
yeah.
Where, both characters
Absolutely.
have to go back on
You
their
gotta
own and
figure it out.
say, can I live with myself
Yes.
so that I
Yep.
can
In this.
consider living with someone else?
Am I ready
Right?
to take that
Yes,
next
yeah.
step? Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were wondering too, we've talked a lot about in crafting our kind of traditional love story. We started with our female heroine, and then we started to create our male main character that was kind of the who does she need was the question, right?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, does that come up at all when you're writing the horse, like writing the horse that you're like that Brooke has, like with Roxy? Was there anything important about Roxy's personality that's like
Absolutely.
filling gaps for Brooke and teaching her things? Yeah, I was just curious about like the personality of Roxy.
Yeah, I knew from the start that Brooke had a horse that a lot of people could not succeed with, and that everything that was difficult about Roxy, like just a spicy little thoroughbred mare, and the mare
Yeah.
part's important. A
Yes.
horse who knows her own mind and has all her own opinions. Kind of famously
What
in the
Brooke
horse world,
doesn't have yet. Yeah.
there's a really old saying, you learn it when you're a kid, and it is, you can tell a gelding and you can ask a mare.
Yes.
Gelding's like, sure, cool. And they, each horse has their own individual personality.
Right.
But sometimes if a gelding has to be convinced of everything, you're like, oh, he's a bit of a mare, isn't he? Because
I love that.
female horses
I'm going to use that
have,
actually.
it's the horse community, the equine community is matriarchal. Mares are in
Yes.
charge. Mares run
Yes.
everything. And they know
I
it.
love
You bring them into a horse-human relationship, and they're still like, you're going to have to prove to me every single day why you're in charge. And so, some people simply just won't even put up with mares. And it was really important to me that Brooke not only love her mare more than anything, but that she had to learn how to respect her mare, and that there were people in the world who were going to tell her that her horse's opinion was not important. Only her opinion was important, and that the mare was never going to stand for that.
Wow.
Interesting.
So I guess as we close this kind of section out about the book, and I want to play a game if you're cool with that after this, but I would love to know, like, it's a pretty basic question. When folks finish the book and they put it down, what do you want them to walk away with?
Well, I write books to answer questions, right? So I think I've been really clear about all the questions that I had when I was writing this book, and so I do hope people will ask questions about the relationships that they form and what they're taking from it, and what they're, even with their animals or anything. Like, how empathetic are you, really?
Love it.
And how are you approaching life with your animals, or with teammates, or with just the people in your world? How much of a role is empathy playing in your life? I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And in anything I write, I'm telling people, you have to follow your passion. Please follow your passion.
Yeah.
Like, it is never too late.
Absolutely.
Please chase whatever it is that you love.
Chase your thing. Yeah, because that's where happiness is.
I
right?
know, beautiful message. Yeah,
Mhm.
what do we say? Not the pursuit of happiness, but the happiness of pursuit. Like the
Yeah.
journey of figuring out who you are.
Yes.
What are you about? Are you empathetic? Yeah. Are you open-minded to change and growth? And
I love
yeah,
it.
that's beautiful.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling us about the book.
Yeah.
I am gonna. I'm gonna kind of hit you with a little bit of a game. It's called The Impossible Meet Cute. And it's super simple. It's going to be easy peasy for us. We're just going to you're going to create a character, and it could just be like a name and a trait, or just a trait, or something where they're from, anything. And I'm going to create a character as well. And then Andrea's going to give us a setting. And then we'll just kind of talk through how these two characters might meet. And
Just
what their
a
first
brainstorm of a scenario.
5 pages might be like. I don't know, something like that. And then maybe we'll end up with a title. We'll
Oh,
title it
yeah.
at the end.
Decide
I do like to title them.
if it's something we're
If we
going to
can,
read.
we can.
Yeah.
You know, if not, then we won't. It's a little bit of an experiment. So, let's take a second. I need to write mine
Brainstorm.
down. Let me brainstorm here for a second.
Come up
Let me
with
think.
your character and trait. I had a couple ideas for scenarios where they might meet.
All
Tell us your
righty.
characters.
So, well, I'll jump in first then if we're ready.
Tell us your...
My character is named Henry, and his quirk is that he can talk to horses.
Oh.
Like Dr. Dolittle style, talk to
mind
horses.
read,
like speak horse.
Okay.
So that's Henry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What character do you
All
have,
right.
Natalie?
Natalie, your turn.
My character is Ellie, and she is a zookeeper at the Prospect Park Zoo in Brooklyn.
Amazing.
And
Perfect.
she helps provide horses to the opera whenever they need a horse for their performances.
That worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
I think it did.
Yeah.
Henry,
Now, let's see them.
where are they? Tell me where they are then.
My location might be a little, unique. So I was thinking about like when you take a Uber or a Lyft or like a ride share
Okay.
service, how sometimes you can get a cheaper fare if you're willing to share with other people.
Okay.
So they meet in a
Oh, like
shared
a ride share.
in a like an actual like. It's not just their Uber.
Yeah,
like
sure.
they get in and there's somebody else in there. So like
Okay.
Ellie gets in and Henry's already in there.
Okay.
Oh, I
so,
like
So they're
this.
they're
Yeah.
riding together somewhere.
so Henry's there. She gets in, and
How do
And
they?
she's going to the back door of the Met.
she's dressed up.
that's where she's
I
getting
guess
No,
dropped
she's
she's
off.
going to
Yeah.
work.
She's going
She's
to
going to
work
meet
at the
somebody
Met.
with a horse trailer to take a horse in.
I
And the
love
horse
this.
Okay.
is like, absolutely not. I'm not going through that stage.
I'm not
door."
having
Yes.
this. Oh, and then he says,
He's like,
I can I can talk.
He can
to
help.
you."
Okay, so yeah, they take the ride.
Mhm.
They get to the Met, and okay, I like this because maybe they are going to the same place magically, even though that's not
or
really.
the same area.
the
same
That's
area.
why
they're
they
both
would
going
get
into
picked up
Manhattan.
together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 He's lost. I don't know what
And-
he was doing in Brooklyn, but
Okay, yeah.
He
So
doesn't even know.
maybe they strike up a conversation,
Yeah. They
and
find
she
some
tells him the
overlapping-
problem, like she's got to go because there's a problem horse, this and that. And he's
Yeah.
like, well,
Believe it or not.
believe it or not, I might be able to help you out with this. And she's like, really? And I think they do. They end up talking to the horse.
Yeah.
Um,
And she sees him at work.
and Henry hears the horse sing beautifully.
he's like, wow, when you said you trained
wants to
horses for the
be-
opera, I had
Wow.
no idea you meant like
I
guest
didn't.
stars.
You meant like I didn't know you meant like singing.
thought they were just
Oh,
like
man.
props.
This is incredible. Yes.
Okay.
I love it.
I like
love
it. Okay.
So
Well, they
how does-
definitely keep in touch then.
I was gonna
I mean,
say, yeah,
they're
that's
like hand in
second-
glove at this point.
Yeah.
oh, well,
they're
maybe he
for
says,
sure.
look, the horse hates this job.
Oh,
so
yes. There's
now
the
we're
problem.
getting into whose choice. She's like, well, I mean, my job is
Yes.
tough, but I go to it every day. And he's like, but you're not a
But the
herd
horse
animal
is-
that wants to graze.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horse isn't really happy in the
Mhm.
fancy dress singing opera.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
so ready to read it. What do we call it?
So then they
again?
have a conflict.
Yeah.
And they
That's
kind of
the-
work with this horse to either figure out
Yeah.
that this is the
Yeah.
right horse.
Find the right path for the horse.
I'm trying to think of a
together.
mezzo soprano horse joke. Hold on, I've got this. Maybe the bass. No, that doesn't work either. Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, so then they have to work with this horse to figure it out
Yeah.
for the Met.
And then they get to see each other's character as to like how much importance they give to the happiness of the horse
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
finding the right. Yeah.
Because
When
she
you're
she works
highlighting
at the
this.
zoo, so she's used to like utilizing animals
used
in
to
education. And
Yeah.
Animals and
they're animals. People are people, and animals are animals, right?
Yeah.
And like
where's those
you know.
boundaries
and
and
he's
those
the opposite.
lines?
Yeah, okay.
exactly.
I
Does he
know.
Because that's a
knows.
huge thing where certain people would be like, don't anthropomorphize the animal.
Mhm.
And other
Mhm.
people are saying, okay, but we know a lot about their emotional intelligence and we can
Right.
define their
Yes.
needs.
Yep.
Yes.
So it gets really, really messy in there. So you've just
Ooh.
landed on
That's a
that.
mirror to their own
love it.
lives. And
I guess the horse doesn't have to sing. We can keep it simple, even though he can talk to
I think
horses.
that's fabulous.
but I think the horse singing is more funny.
Yeah,
actually.
that's
It is
great.
funny.
Which would be
I don't
weird
know
at
what
the
that would
opera.
sound like.
Yeah.
I don't know at the opera why people would go to see a horse sing. I'm not exactly sure about
I mean,
that.
I think
I mean,
people
I would
do
be
that.
interested.
Mhm.
yeah,
I
I
would
was
be
gonna say I
novelty
would buy a
factor.
ticket.
be a hell of a
For
TikTok,
sure.
I'll tell
I
you that.
know. I would definitely buy
Okay.
into it. All right.
Okay, so
So
then
what,
they work together to work with this horse,
yeah,
and then that's where the story
that's
takes
where it
off.
starts.
Okay,
Yeah. What do you call
so we
it?
got to name it something then. What's the title of our?
Is it some kind of play on the opera?
Yeah, that's what
or
I'm wondering. Like,
the,
something about voice, or like giving it a voice, giving the
yeah.
horse a voice, maybe some sort
Mm,
of like, um,
mm.
I
ooh,
have
titles
no.
are
I
tough.
my the fat pony sings. I don't.
Oh,
When the,
yes.
yes, when the
Yes.
yes.
When the
Okay,
fat
when the
pony
fat pony sings.
That's
Now,
it right
Fat pony
there.
sings.
Okay, I love it. I
Oh
would
my
read it in a
God.
heartbeat. That's incredible.
Well, I
perfect.
didn't expect
Thank
this
Done
to
and done.
happen.
Thank you
See?
for playing
See,
that.
now you've got your next book. I don't know. I mean,
It's all scripted out.
it's
I'll have
done.
to add
It's
it to
basically
the list.
plotted out.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for like a
Awesome.
crossover. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much
playing.
for playing
But
along with
that
the
actually leads
fun.
us perfectly into the last little bit here. We
Yeah.
wanted to talk to you about your process.
What is writing like?
And what is writing like,
Yeah.
writing like, and I guess we can start straight with plotter or pantser, or some
Oh.
magic third option.
Yeah.
Pantser. I'm chaotic.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
I like to write linear. I don't like to write scattered scenes.
Mhm.
I like to start at the beginning, just keep going, get about 2/3 in, and then start over again. That has
Oh, okay.
established
Okay.
itself. That is about 10 books in. I was like, I write all the books the same way. I
This
start
is my
over
pattern.
2/3 in.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that's
Okay.
because that's when a plot starts to reveal itself to me, and
Yep.
then I start having all these ideas about how I can improve, and start seeding that in. So that's when I go back, and I don't usually make a new document. I usually just work with the one that I have. The downside to this is I never know what my ending is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it takes, like, I just keep rewriting the first, I don't
Yep.
know, if there are 30 chapters, I write 28 and then
Yep.
And then
Yep.
just roll.
kill
and roll.
myself over the ending for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that reminds me. Taika Waititi, the writer director, he does something similar. He said he writes an entire screenplay, and then he puts it in his drawer for a month or a
Couple
year,
months,
something
yeah.
like that, and then he tries to rewrite it from memory.
Oh,
So he
wow.
knows he's only getting the good stuff, that
Like
he
whatever
can
he
remember.
remembers.
And I'm like,
is
wow,
the-
that's a heck of a process right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know,
Do you-
because I would get confused. I don't have a great
Yeah.
I think
memory
I
as
would
it
too.
is.
Oh,
I don't like
yeah.
to leave mine very long. I know that's, for some people they do, and I do like the addition of sending it off to my editor, which is something I never did before I signed with
Yeah.
Flatiron.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where I would have, it would be gone for a few days with like beta readers reading it, but generally speaking, I wrote a chapter, I put it on Patreon. My Patreon readers would read it, give me instant feedback, and I would work that way. And then I'd have beta readers read the total, and then I'd revise it. And so when it went to, my editor's going to have this for a month, that gap did get really helpful, where I could, I could get away from it. But it doesn't like make the process sort of more pleasant for me, and like getting back into it, I go, oh God, this again.
Yeah.
Back at it, yeah.
It's been, yeah.
That was going to be another one of my questions. You self-published for a decade before you really got, went mainstream.
Yeah.
Is that one of the biggest changes you've seen, you think? Like the addition of the process and the editors and all the things?
Yeah, moving into the editorial process was, definitely the biggest change. And it was, I'm on book 12 of this contract. In 2 years, we have revised and
Wow.
revised from
Re-edited,
scratch.
Yeah.
8 books in the Eventing series. We're now doing the 3 books in the Briar Hill Farm series.
Oh
We
my
revised them
goodness.
as if they were brand new baby drafts, not published books that have been
Right.
out.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
And so we're talking 3 rounds of revisions on every single one. And then in the middle, I had to write the jump and do all of those revisions on that. First book I'd ever written on contract, first book I'd ever written on proposal.
Yeah.
And so I am
That's some
extremely-
pacing.
My
I have
goodness.
loads
wow.
more
I'm
gray
tired.
hairs. Cried so much, had so many like
Mhm.
crises over these
imagine.
books, and I'm so thrilled to
Wow.
be on the last one.
Yeah, I bet.
I can only
know?
imagine. My goodness. That's a marathon.
It
It's
is,
really
it
hard to
truly
go
is.
back and
Mhm.
rewrite books that you wrote
Yes.
5 to 10 years ago.
Right? Yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
And I'm
absolutely.
thrilled that I got to, because one of my great troubles in self-publishing was that my most popular book remained a book that I had published in like 2012. And I had changed so much as a writer, and I did so many things to try to convince people, read something else instead. They're like, no, we want to read Ambition. We want to read the Aventine series. And so to actually get the chance to revisit Ambition from scratch and improve the story with an absolutely incredible editor was just the gift of a lifetime. And if nothing else came out of this whole situation, rewriting the Aventine series with this amazing editor, with Carolyn Blakey, and with doing The Jump and all of that together with her would be like the gift of a lifetime.
And something so unique that I feel like a lot of authors don't get. Like you said, getting to go back and show your growth and see how you've evolved. And now
it brings
producing
two things to my brain, and kind of both are true. It's like when you have a book or a piece of art, it's never finished, A.
Yeah.
And then B, the timepiece of it. You know, things age differently. You're in a different headspace, the world, your own self. That sounds like a heck of an undertaking.
Yeah. But a gift, like you said, to be able to go back and do that. And now what's it like turning it into shows?
Yeah,
with
really.
the Venting series and the Briar. Yeah, like.
If you think publishing takes a long time.
Oh my gosh.
You don't even, there is no concept of time in Hollywood, I don't think. I don't think they have calendars or clocks or anything.
Nope.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of that in advertising. He gets a little peek into that world for sure.
Glacial.
Yeah. Or it's like either that or hurry up.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah,
it's like
one or the
you're
other.
either waiting for, you're hurrying up and waiting is kind of the process.
Yeah, we need to, I've gotten calls in the weirdest places and they need info instantaneously. And I'm like, let me, I was at a horse show venue once and I was like, let me go somewhere quiet so I can answer these bizarre questions. And then I didn't hear anything for 4 months after that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was urgent in that moment. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That moment, it was life or death.
Yes. So. Thank you for sharing a little bit about your craft. We're going to move into our final 5 rapid fire questions if you're ready. No, just it's whatever comes to mind first. There's no wrong answers. So number 1 is open door or closed door?
Closed door.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I love it. Leave some to the imagination. Sexiest occupation for a main character.
Oh, sexiest occupation. I married a bookstore manager. I think that bookstore manager.
That's a good one.
Ooh, yeah, that's hot.
That's a good one.
Hot.
We could write a book about that.
I read that you guys met working for Barnes and Noble. Yep. That's so cute. Just book lovers.
People.
I'm like, whew, I love it. I think we might have covered this, but favorite beverage while writing?
Yeah, I'm definitely a cold brew girl whenever I have it brewed just right. That or a double shot
cold
of espresso with some oat milk. Yep.
Yes. Yes, love it. Yeah. Favorite punctuation mark?
Oh, I love a good semicolon.
Okay.
I like complicated sentences.
Yes, all the info.
That's a good one.
And what's one word you always overuse in a first draft?
Just is my word. Yeah, and the problem is I'll search for it to get rid of it, and I have a really hard time pulling it out. Like it works there. It works there. It works there. It works there. It works all 5 times I used it in this one paragraph. It works really well. So what do you want me to do?
Every time. It's critical.
It helped the pacing.
It's just how I write.
It's like a period. I need it in there to kind of push it forward. Yeah.
It's my whole emotional tell.
I'm telling you.
That's our final 5.
All right.
Easy peasy.
Do you want to tell the fans where to find The Jump to pre-order and find you?
Find you?
Yeah. The Jump is going to be everywhere books are sold, as far as I know.
Yes.
Hardcover, audiobook, ebook. I just got the audiobook in my inbox and I listened to the first chapter.
Love it?
Of course, I do. I'm not a huge listener of my own words, but I do like to listen to a little. And I'm very happy with the narrator. Unique. She's a little younger than the narrator of the Aventine series, or younger sounding, I should say. I don't know her actual age.
Sure.
But this character was a little younger, so we wanted to change that up a little bit. And it is just a stunningly beautiful hardcover. So I know it's going to look really nice on everyone's shelves. And I will be doing a little bit of book touring to launch it. And then I will be looking forward to Kentucky 3-day event, which is my favorite event of the year. We call it the best weekend of all year. in eventing. And
Ah,
that's the
fun.
last
Is
weekend
that
in
in
April.
Lexington?
Mm-hmm.
Is that in Lexington? My
Yeah.
sister works there. She lives in Louisville and commutes to Lexington. But
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
gosh.
amazing.
Yeah, so
wanna
I'll
go
have it
visit
there
and
if anybody
see
wants to come and check out
see the
eventing
area.
in real life.
Yes.
It is the greatest
Sounds
eventing
fun.
spectacle of the year. Yeah.
No, I'll have to
I know,
book
I'll have
that
to
and
make it up there
come
now.
visit.
Go
I
visit
know.
your sister.
You will
Thank
never
you.
change.
I know. Come
Yeah.
to
Instagram,
we'll get-
TikTok,
Instagram,
where
Natalie
you want
K.
people to find
Reinert.
you?
Natalie K. Reinert
Yes.
on Instagram. Natalie Gallops on TikTok, but I'm most active on Instagram.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us
Yes.
today,
Oh,
Natalie.
thank you for
It was
having me.
so
Such a good
wonderful.
time.
Can't wait
Wonderful.
to read the book. Yeah.
That's so interesting. I'm so ready to go and like learn more about that world now. There's eventing and just horses in general. I feel like I've had some experience growing up in Texas, but it was just a whole new perspective
Yeah.
talking with Natalie, just about everything that goes on in that space. I appreciate her giving us kind of a
Yeah.
peek inside the world.
When we did the research, I really did find people talking about how she writes like a GoPro, like you're a GoPro on the horse. I think that's a huge compliment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it shows the expertise and just the beautiful prose.
Yeah.
So,
And
yes,
seeing this
Natalie.
theme to emerge, I feel like so many authors we've seen get their break or get their deal when they write about what they're passionate about and what they
Absolutely.
want to read. And that I just think that's such an important lesson
Yep.
as we're trying to figure out, where we go next in our story that we're writing, as just what it feels the most authentic to us. What do we want to say? What do we need to write that
Yep.
only we can?
That energy and passion shines through,
It really does.
know, as we
So
share.
thank you to Natalie for
Natalie, thank
joining
you.
us. You can
All right.
find her on Instagram at Natalie K. Reinert and
Mhm.
at her website, nataliekReinert.com. Reinert is Reinert.
Yes.
So please go follow
Find her.
her. Yes. And she
Yeah,
just posts a
like
lot
her.
of great content,
yes.
content with her horse, Ben, that we talked
Tell
about.
her we said hi.
Yeah, tell Ben we said hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not
Hey.
going to appreciate my
Oh,
jokes.
okay. All right.
Anyways,
You made it.
but yeah.
I'm not allowed to make horse jokes, but you can.
No, just say hey, Ben.
That's going to be our main source of conflict.
Oh, goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
You look at you telling tales.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. You saddled me with that one.
Okay, yeah. So thank you, Natalie. We appreciate you. We're so excited. One last thing we wanted to talk about before we wrapped up, something that just happened close to home and just a kind of an inspiring story that came out of some, not so great news. Is basically a few weeks ago in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there was a planned conference, a readers conference called the Dreamers and Readers Festival here at the Gaylord Texan here in Grapevine. And unfortunately, they had to cancel the event 2 weeks prior to the scheduled date. And, part of it was they were saying there weren't enough rooms booked to meet the contract, and this is what we hear and what they're posting. We don't know everything behind the scenes, but basically just that the fees that they would have incurred because they didn't meet enough rooms booked, they weren't able to do that, and so they had to cancel. And so immediately there was a big outpouring on social media of authors and vendors saying, "What do we do? We've already booked." Non-refundable tickets like airline and hotels. We've shipped books down. We've, shipped things that, planning the goods that they're planning to sell.
They
and
have to buy their own
yeah,
books.
they were so invested, literally financially in this. And so what we saw that we were so inspired by is just the outpouring of love for this community, for authors, for these vendors from the Dallas bookstores. And it first came from readers too. They went to the bookstores themselves, really advocating for these authors and vendors, saying, what can we do? Can you offer them spaces? And we've seen so many stores come forward and just offering spaces to these authors. And so we're going to play a little clip from an Instagram video that the Plot Twist Book Bar in Denton, Texas posted just about the opportunity and just where their heart was in taking care of these authors.
Hey you guys, Darcy here from the Plot Twist. We are an independently owned romance bookstore and bar located here in Denton, Texas. As many of you know already, the Dreamers and Readers Convention that was being held here in Grapevine, Texas at the Gaylord was canceled last minute. And we are just as devastated as so many others for the authors and the vendors and attendees who spent a lot of time and effort and money preparing and planning for this event. As a bookstore, our passion is supporting authors, serving our community, and providing that space for readers and authors to connect in meaningful ways. So with that said, we're not aligning with any one in particular event or group that is hosting an alternative event. Instead, just like many other wonderful DFW bookstores, our doors are open for any author or vendor who just needs a place or wants a place to come set up, whether that's in between all of these other events going on, or as an addition, or as your only plan if you want to do any kind of DFW bookstore crawl. There's just so many wonderful people and readers and bookstores in this community who welcome you with open arms, as do we. And we are here for you always. And please reach out if that is something you're looking for, or if you, again, just need a place to come sign, or just want a place to come sign, sell your merch. We're not charging any table fees. We don't have any additional fees, and we're not going to be taking any wholesale percentages or consignment for these. You can sell at your table, keep 100% of your profit, just like you intended at Dreamers and Raiders. We are, again, here for you guys always. Please reach out, DM, email if that's something you're interested in. And again, reach out to all the other amazing DFW bookstores who are just as supportive and want to help you guys out during this time.
So I just loved what she said, is that they're offering space. They're not charging table fees to these authors. They're not taking cuts of the percentage. They're just trying, and it's not just them. There were so many places that were offering
I love how she
spaces.
spoke for all the bookstores,
Yes.
because all the bookstores, and we've been to a bunch of them here in the
They're aligned.
DFW area, they absolutely would be happy to host all these
Yeah.
authors that kind of got left out in the rain a little bit
Yeah.
because they had to get down here and do their thing. So
Yeah.
what a great community. I just,
Yeah, it was
I think
inspiring.
that's the key point, is that the reading community has just been amazing down here in DFW. So I'm just proud of us.
Agree.
Good story.
It was so inspiring and uplifting. And I
Bummer
just loved-
start, but
yes, and not a great situation to start with,
Yeah.
but something really beautiful came out of it. And I was really proud of our hometown and the way everybody showed up for those authors. So
yeah. Thank you for sharing.
that,
Good story.
yeah.
Good story. I guess that's it, though. Wrap us up.
Yeah, let me
You want me
tell
to
you
put my
first-
matching shirt on again so we
No,
can do the
please,
end?
no more matching shirts. You can find Matrick doing all his smoldering chores on our Instagram page,
Mhm.
which is Our Next Chapter
It's
podcast.
true.
You can go to our website and sign up for our non-existent newsletter, which will get your name in the back of our book as an OG fan when we publish it. That's ournextchapterpodcast.com. And so we hope that you will come find us and celebrate all of these fun authors that we're
Fantastic.
getting to talk to. Yes, celebrate all the holidays too and bad accents. Come find us. Come hang out with
That's
us online.
Thanks
So
for being here.
thank you for being here. And until next time, I love you.
I love you.
Matrick.
HTTPS://
That's fine. Yeah, you can do this as the
www.
fade out every time. You can just
OURNEXTCHAPTER
spell out
podcast.
spell out our full website. Yeah.